This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
Y'all, this
just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Thursday, everybody. Guess what? Stephanie Jones is in the house.
Thank you.
Either we have a royal story, Steph, or maybe some fashion.
One of the two. I'll leave you in such suspense.
All right, let's get to it then, Steph. The fate of GMA3 host Amy Robuck and TJ Holmes is unknown since being pulled from the air last month. So People magazine is reporting that ABC is still struggling to figure out what to do with them. Some executives reportedly want them out, but the problem is there aren't enough grounds for them to be fired. Meantime, some tabloids are reporting that TJ had affairs with multiple women at the network, including a 24-year-old producer back in 2015. We talk about the story often, right? Tabloids are into this story. What do you think ultimately will happen? I remember me and Erica, she's not here today, had the discussion. I think they got to get rid of them both. Erica kind of leaned towards the side that they're going to get rid of TJ and keep Amy because that's what they were setting up to. And now with these stories coming out about TJ, Erica might have a point here. But where do you guys stand?
Tori, I'll defer to you first.
Oh, man.
I want to hear.
What do you think?
I definitely think that TJ will go and Amy will stay.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think, okay, that's good. I don't think they will.
Sounded like Steph agreed.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah, I just think there's more grounds to get rid of TJ, and that eliminates an issue. Whereas if you did fire Amy, she could come back with some employee disgruntled grounds for firing on the wrong way. She could sue, basically.
All right, well, let's get into this, Al. Optically, how does that look?
But
Even though it might be technically
You mean black
right.
man being kicked out, white woman staying?
You said it. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I know what you're saying.
I don't see color.
Yells it. No,
Tori yells it.
Yes, Tori, that was a joke. I don't think that you do.
Yeah, no, but seriously, optically, how does that look?
Normally it would look bad, but I think when people, you know, black people are not ants. We just don't follow blindly. We can see what's going on around, and if this is just a black dude getting a cup of coffee in the break room and they fired him, there's going to be a problem. But when you've been a little messy around the office, Steph, I think everybody that works in any kind of corporate structure now, we don't have time to get in everybody's corporate structure in terms of rules, but it's kind of a rule. You kind of don't date people you work with, especially people they're on the same level kind of professionally, but we all kind of know that. I don't know what this company's policy is, but I just know I ain't going there. So he went there a couple times, allegedly, apparently, and when you do that, you open yourself up to this stuff.
Yeah, I think if it had just been this one relationship, right, and they're clearly together now, they've been seen out and about, the paparazzi are having a field day, they're being a lot more public, I think that would have been one thing.
Yeah.
And I think the network may have been like, hey, we're getting a bit of press, a bit of publicity, this is good.
Roll him.
But I think that since other allegations have come out that he's been with other people that aren't on the same, like, I don't want to say pay grade, but level at work, that's where I think for TJ it's going to cause some problems.
Yeah.
And I think now that he's done that a couple of times, apparently, I think they will go with Amy. Let's be honest, this is a huge show that brings in massive numbers. They need to keep their audience and their sponsors happy. Amy brings in those numbers just as much as TJ does, but I think their viewers won't want to see that them together on the show anymore, because I think they all feel like invested in them and their previous relationships because they feel they have the right to do so.
Do you think she'll be received the same? And sorry, Jeff, but I just want to ask: do you think she'll be received the same now that some of the audience will look at her as a air quote homewrecker?
I think, I do think the numbers, I think people will initially tune in because it'll be scandalous, like, oh, what's she going to do? What's she going to wear? Is she going to address it? Then they'll probably start hating and trolling, and then after about 6 months, it'll be business as usual. Yeah.
Sounds about right.
I'm going to go against the grain and say they're both getting fired.
I could see
Just
that
because
too.
optically I don't think it looks great. I think it will be a distraction if one comes back and not the other. I think, again, they're either going to go to another network or they're going to have like a podcast. They're going to do something together
But it might
outside
cost
the
the network more to get rid of them than to keep them, and that's like a huge thing. And it is a lawsuit because they haven't technically done anything wrong.
They've invested in their careers clearly and promoted them. So do you just like now kick that out of?
Exactly, and that's a lot of money, Jeff. We're like not talking a little bit.
Listen, people, we'll see what happens. The Razzie Awards.
Yay!
I want wanted to switch the level there. Okay, the Razzie Awards are apologizing for nominating a 12-year-old girl for Worst Actress, Al. Some people online, including former child stars, put the Razzies on blast after Ryan Kira Armstrong was nominated for her performance in Firestarter. Well, the Razzies are on Erica's side because she got in a fight with Al yesterday, in case you didn't know. The group tweeted, in light of the feedback, the Razzie Awards will not be including Ryan Kira Armstrong. These 3 names, come on, man. Let's go. What happened to Jim's and Pete's on the final voting ballot? And going forward, it won't nominate anyone under the age of 18. 3-time Razzie nominee Macaulay Culkin tweeted back, I guess it was much easier to make fun of kids back in 1995. He was nominated 3 times for Razzies. Another little boy was nominated for a Razzie, but a 12-year-old girl gets a Razzie.
It's over.
Stop the presses.
It's when she got it. I think in
1995.
1995.
Oh, you mean timing?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
it's just
okay.
Like now we just, you know,
again, optically, that doesn't look great.
I don't think it's anything to do with that. I think, like I said, it's the time. It's because it's 2023, and I think like it's a very different world to 1995. But someone should have a bit of like something about them to think, hey, this is a 12-year-old. It's just like really scrape. I mean, the performances are bad enough. We have enough to go from. Tom Hanks has stolen that show. So I think just leave the 12-year-old alone.
Al disagrees.
What do you think, Al?
I look, this is what I said, Steph. And first of all, I want to say this. I thought as a society we were against bullying, but we certainly bullied the Razzies into taking that back.
We didn't bully. As consumers,
they didn't get pushback from society.
Pushback is not bullying. We as a consumer can have a right to say we don't like that without saying I'm a bully.
I mean, well, the consumer spoke with the 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. So that was a little bit of a bully move, too. It's going to push that movie down in your algorithm player. So I'm just saying, the public's hands are dirty in this as well. And look, Steph, this is what I was going to say really quickly, and Tori, I want to get to you. Honestly, if you go get that bag, to be the leading whoever in this movie, you have to understand that bag is heavy because there's a price that comes with that, and that price is criticism, and the criticism of the public, the consuming public, which is overwhelmingly adult. Right. If this is YouTube Kids and you're killing it by opening gifts, you're not going to get a Razzie. But when you start to put that on the big screen where Jeff's plunking down $40, you know, and you know he's feeling that, he's like the parking. Like if you paid for a bad movie, you have a right to say, I thought that was bad.
Okay, let me just respond in that we've got to see a little bit of child actors and what happens when we don't care about them at all, i.e. Corey Feldman, Corey Haim, Macaulay Culkin, things like that. And when we didn't care about kids, as Macaulay was saying, we saw them fail. We saw them really go into drug abuse, and I don't want to take it there, but I think 2023 is not only a climate about let's not go there for maybe because she's a young girl, but also because we've learned a lot about child acting. And I don't think that's really cool of a climate and a culture to take them down a notch. They're 12.
So then how do you get better?
And I think they'll know where, like,
you don't get another role.
You won't get another role. You've got to audition harder. Like, I mean, not being nominated for anything remotely good.
Well, she could wear it as a badge too. You know what I mean? Like Tom Hanks is nominated. Me too. Tommy. You know what I mean?
If I was a parent, I would be selling it hard as that.
Yeah.
You'd show up in full outfit.
Oh yeah, like this is a big deal. You've been recognized. Other people will say, wait, hey, she will get a spotlight on her because of this.
All right. Well, we'll talk about it in a break. Check out our YouTube. Coming up on DBL, our interview with Tommy Davidson from In Living Color. Plus, Steph is going to break down Paris Fashion Week. There it is. From the outrageous dresses to a model falling on the runway. I love when people fall down. That's next.
No. Oh, she's taking them off.
Yeah.
It's a new year, and DBL is all the talk.
Let's get it going.
We had a lot to talk about last year.
I'm flexing every day.
And we're not stopping in 2023. I'll see you guys on the flip side.
3 letters. Aptly.
So Al's got to finish his thing.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I said we were coming in.
No, I want to know the clue.
Yeah.
What's this?
Aptly named mascot of the 2000 Olympics.
Okay.
Rio?
Oh,
It's 3 letters.
but is Rio a nickname?
Because he wasn't it in Rio? Yeah. Oh, wasn't? I don't know Olympics well.
Was it in China? Was it a panda?
Seoul?
Soul's not 3 letters.
That's not the
Yeah, it's
answer,
S-O-L.
No, that's sun in Spanish.
Right, but was it a big sun?
You spell soul S-O.
Did you look it up? You can't look
What's
it
the
up.
point of looking up something on the crossword? Aren't you supposed to think about it?
Right, this is he just ruined it. I'm like Sid for Sydney. He ruined it. He ruined it.
Have you been to Sydney?
Dare
I
you?
looked where the 2000 Olympics were. And you did YD, right?
Of course I did. I'm not an animal.
I guess
My
we're
God.
not going to watch Tori do a crossword like
In
we're
pen.
feeding the birds in the park. Let's do the show. How do you feel?
I feel good. I actually just got back into crossword puzzling.
No, about the stories we're covering.
I see. I apologize. Can I be honest? Amy Robuck, could she play the I didn't know about this whole TJ Holmes and use it as an underdog?
How is she?
She obviously
skating?
knows.
Because she is, and even in my mind, until you said that, there's a thing like, oh, now she's finding out he did. Like
She must have known.
You knew he was married.
Okay. Yeah.
You knew that there
The
was
rumors.
Yeah.
I know what Al wears, like his underwear choice. Like I know everything about these people, so it's hard to imagine. It's hard to imagine not knowing he was having an affair with a 24-year-old that must have been getting around, allegedly.
Yeah, this isn't, you know, the bottom level of the Pentagon. People are talking about it.
Yeah,
So,
it's gossip.
I don't know. Maybe how would they have steered into it without losing their audience?
Maybe Amy's gonna play I didn't.
Welcome back, Paris. Fashion Week is bringing out all the stars. A-listers like Kerry Washington, David Beckham, and Anne Hathaway have been spotted taking in all the fashion. There are also some head-turning moments on the runway. Thankfully, we have our resident DBL fashionista, Stephanie Jones, to break it all down.
How hot is David Beckham in that satin suit?
Steph, next time you come on, I just want to say, hey, fashion, Stephanie Jones, and you do all that.
I'll take it.
Okay.
I wanted that to be your only take. You go, David Beckham looks amazing.
David Beckham looks amazing. That is all I need to say. All right, let's take a look at stuff. Dutch fashion house Victor & Rolf put fashion on its head, literally, with upside-down gowns and other frocks that looked more like pieces of art, because that's exactly what they are. Critics said that the concept was genius. Others felt sorry for the models that had to wear the mannequin-like designs.
Deconstruction.
I feel sorry for them. Yeah, it looks
Dude,
I don't feel sorry for them.
That's not rad. If someone came to somewhere looking like that, you'd be like, you are insane.
No, Jeff.
And there better be a metal detector at this game.
But think about that. Right, so this is actually haute couture fashion week. This isn't regular fashion week. This isn't ready to wear. This isn't trends that we're going to be wearing to your bridal party, whatever.
It's to surprise you.
This is to surprise you, to show the design house's expertise. Each of these dresses are over 300 hours to make. So it's just showing, hey, we're super creative. All right, let's have a look. Another designer, Valentino, is getting criticized for putting veteran supermodel Kristen McMenemy in unwalkable heels. So she struggled to get down the runway in the shoes after falling, so she clearly got frustrated. She took off the heels and walked barefoot the rest of the way. So you guys know, Kristen is 58. She's been modeling since the 80s. This is not her first rodeo.
Really? Because it looks like she couldn't even walk barefoot.
You know what? I think the dress is too tight at the bottom.
I feel like when you look at her walking away, it clearly is very tight on the knees and she's struggling to move.
Do you think they laugh at themselves backstage, or is she broke?
No, she's going to be furious.
Really?
I mean, this is like a huge platform, you know. It's Valentino show, it's haute couture. These dresses go from $90,000 upwards. This is no joke.
But here's the thing, no one would see this unless she fell, so it's kind of a marketing tool.
I think they definitely would see it.
Yeah.
For sure. Maybe.
All right, well,
She's like, we don't run in the same circles.
We've got to show as well Doja Cat. She has been setting Fashion Week on fire. So yesterday she showed up in this pinstripe suit with a mustache and a goatee that was made out of fake eyelashes, and she also wore them on her eyebrows. So this was in response to the red outfit that she wore earlier this week, where she covered her skin in 30,000 Swarovski crystals, and people came at her for not wearing any eyelashes. So she's obviously gone all out this time.
Oh, clever.
But I mean, I think she looks fantastic. This is what Haute Couture Fashion Week is all about. It's pushing the boundaries. It's doing things that are weird, that are unusual. It's not necessarily about looking pretty and gorgeous like David.
I didn't like that second look. That
What?
V for Vendetta look she had. I didn't like
The
that.
red?
No, the other
with the
one
mustache and the goatee.
Oh, you know what? It's about gender transformation, fluidity, about identity. I think it's really interesting.
What about having an eyelash on your lip? That's
I'm just saying, like,
gross.
not many people can pull this off with confidence. I mean, I would be a bit insecure going to a fashion week like that, and she's rocking it. I think she looks amazing.
I think people should go to Skid Row, like in LA, and see some real crazy people, because they look crazy, just like those other people. We'll be right back.
So we liked it.
It's time to get out those W-2s and those calculators. Tax season began Monday, and according to the IRS, 168 million Americans will file their 2022 taxes between now and April 18th. But this year, there are some tax credits that went back to pre-pandemic levels. So the IRS says don't expect to see as big of a refund.
To find out why, we went to the Internal Revenue Service, also known as the IRS, Mark Stieber with Jackson Hewitt, and the text of the American Rescue Plan. For 2021, the American Rescue Plan allowed for key credits to increase to help families offset expenses associated with the pandemic. The main three include child tax credit, dependent care tax credit, and earned income tax credit.
You claim the child tax credit and the dependent care credit in 2021, you will get less credit in 2022 just because the law went back to the old way.
The child tax credit is now back at $2,000 for families. It did reach $3,600 during the pandemic. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, that change alone helped lift 2.9 million children out of poverty in 2021. The dependent care credit also dropped back down to $2,100, a big difference from the maximum of $8,000 in 2021. There were also no stimulus payments in 2022.
Refund shock is certainly something to be, planned for, especially if you enjoyed one or more of those benefits.
However, Stieber says this won't affect all Americans, and depending on your situation, you might actually get more of a refund this year.
Started a side gig, cryptocurrency deductible losses, and the list goes on and on. If you had some of those, you might have a new or a bigger tax benefit this year, and you want to watch out for that as well.
Stieber says the best thing to do is get your taxes organized so you are ready to file, and don't wait to file at the last second. With your Verify Fact Check, I'm Megan Bragg.
Welcome back. Tommy Davidson has been making us laugh for decades. We caught up with him earlier. Take a look.
So let's get into it, because In Living Color launched the careers of many stars. So did you have a sense that it was going to be that successful when you signed on to the show?
Right away. Well, I didn't know. I had no idea what fame was like, but I knew that we were going to be successful. Fame caught us all by surprise. But when we saw each other at the audition, we had known each other for the past 3-4 years in comedy clubs and in auditions, and trying to get to where we wanted to go, which was TV and eventually to movies, and then to do whatever we wanted to do once we reached stardom. Once we started in that studio, we were like family. We worked every day. We worked hard. We loved comedy. It was like unbelievable. And fame happened. And it was kind of like a shock.
The fame is hard. I know. It's very difficult to even leave the building. Dreams. Okay. Out of all of your hilarious impersonations.
I wasn't talking about me. I was talking about Jennifer.
No, you were part of that. Your very famous ones, like people are already writing in the Michael Jackson, your Sammy Davis Jr. Who was the most fun to do? Did you do it?
Yeah.
I missed it. Okay, sorry. What was the most fun to do? Even with your body, what's the most fun to do?
I don't know who was the most fun, but the most accessible one was Stallone, but I don't look like him.
Which is funny, kind of.
Well, so I mean, I can, sound like him in a minute, you know what I mean? I can be talking like this for the whole interview. I mean, I could just do that so fast. But at least for now, I'm starting to look like Obama, so that works a little better too. Like, because I can change from being a comedian to being a
he looks like a different
politician that sounds like that I'm black or white in the same time, but I'm not. And I can make political statements, and I can make stupid statements, and black people still love me. So that's
good. Oh my gosh.
Big old CVS glasses.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I adore you. Okay, so congratulations are in order because the Proud family, Louder and Prouder, won an Emmy.
Yes.
Plus, it's nominated for 4 NAACP awards. You're the voice of the father, Oscar Proud. So tell us why you think this show is a miracle.
This show is a miracle because this show is about a family from a population of Americans that got here about 400 years ago and were just deprived of everything and became an eclectic family, eclectic being an American family. And that being said, the Proud family actually is an American family. And I think it's a miracle that it's being accepted. But hasn't love always been?
Oh, wow. That's beautifully stated.
Funny and poetic.
I know. Insightful. Unbelievable. Okay. But here's the thing, though. The Proud family, we know, to your beautiful point, it represents Black culture. But a lot of people may not know that you were adopted by a white family. What's the most interesting thing?
I didn't know that.
What's the most interesting thing about how you were raised?
The most interesting thing about that is that I can say what I said just now and it be true. But that's where I got that insight from. You see, because there I was thrust into a society that hated each other for colors they weren't really were. You know, when I got to Washington, D.C. as a kid, the black kids, that's what they're called by white people, attacked us every day, and we're calling my sister and my brother White Cracker and me White Cracker Lover. I went to my mom and said, why are they calling me White Cracker Lover? I like graham cracker.
Wow.
You know, and she said, well, that's what people our color call your people your color when they don't like them. And I'm like, well, what color am I? They said, you're black. I was like, no, I'm brown.
Tommy, we're out of time. You need to give like a TED Talk. Maybe you already have, but you are.
Or at least come back here.
Yeah, come back.
Please have me back. This I've never seen this.
Oh.
This thing is good.
Yes. Okay,
so are you, Tommy.
DBL Nation, visit TheTommyDavidson.com to see him live in a city near you. Hopefully he can come to Denver. Plus catch season 2 of The Proud Family, Louder and Prouder, this February on Disney+. We appreciate you so much.
Thanks, Tommy.
Congrats.
Keep going. Keep going. I love it.
In the cases of the 45th and 46th president, and now the most recent vice president, the Presidential Records Act has come up a number of times in headlines related to these documents. So what is it, and can someone actually face consequences for breaking it? We turn to these sources here to verify. U.S. Code defines presidential records as materials or portions of materials, quote, created or received by the president or the president's immediate staff or a unit or individual of the executive office of the president whose function is to advise and assist the president in the course of conducting activities which relate to or have an effect upon the carrying out of the constitutional, statutory, or other official or ceremonial duties of the president. Law since the Watergate scandal, the Presidential Records Act means those official documents and records of presidents and vice presidents belong to us, the citizens, not the official's personal property. The National Archives lays out guidance for how administrations should keep track of these records and hand them off upon leaving the White House. However, Professor Michael Greenberger explains there's nothing baked into the law to force an administration to follow it.
The assumption, I'm sure, was when they passed the Presidential Records Act that once they declared the rule, no president would be so brazen as to say, I'm not going to follow the rule.
That's why there's also discussion of the Espionage Act. Violating that is a crime. So that's what the Department of Justice invoked in the warrant to retrieve documents from former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate when they say he failed to comply with the Presidential Records Act.
The Espionage Act says that the president cannot make these highly classified documents available to the public because that would endanger the national safety.
Because President Biden and now Vice President Pence are turning over documents voluntarily, Professor Greenberger explains there's been no need thus far to use the Espionage Act. However, that could change if it's determined the documents found in their homes or offices could compromise national security. With your Verify, I'm Abby Larico.
An alleged recall of KitchenAid mixers is causing quite a stir. Dozens of viewers have emailed us asking about a viral Facebook post that claims that KitchenAid's attachments contain dangerous amounts of lead and that they're being recalled. So, is that true? Is there a recall? Let's verify. Our sources are Whirlpool Corporation, KitchenAid, the Consumer Product Safety Commission, and the Food and Drug Administration. We can verify that no, there's not a KitchenAid mixer attachment recall due to lead. That's according to Whirlpool, the brand's parent company, and confirmed by the Consumer Product Safety Commission. Verify traced claims about lead contamination in KitchenAid attachments to online and social media posts by Tamara Rubin, who runs the Lead Safe Mama website and social media accounts. Rubin is demanding a recall after conducting an at-home test that she says found dangerous levels of lead on the attachments. Rubin's test has not been independently confirmed. The FDA doesn't require kitchen utensils to be 100% lead-free, but does set limits on the amount. KitchenAid says any lead levels in their products comply with FDA standards. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
All right, Steph, what do you have for us today?
Hey, Jeff. Hello, DBL Nation. I am super excited to show you all the deals today, and they are absolutely fabulous. So let's check everything out. First up, we've got the 2-pack O-Deck LED desk lamp and removable flashlight. So this deal includes 2 different lamps. We've got them available in black or white. They're normally $26 each, but we have got 2 for $24.99, so that means you'll save 52%. Our next product is the StoreSmith over-the-door vanity organizer. So this deal will include 1 organizer, 1 zipper pouch, and 3 over-the-door hooks. Normally this is $30, but we've got it for $12.99, which is saving 57%. Okay, we've got the Perlea Hemp Oil Cleansing Cream and Night Cream Bundle. So this deal includes 1 cleansing cream and 1 night cream that have a light spa-like minty scent. So normally this set is $80, but we've got it for just $17.99, which saves everyone 78%. And our last product is the Lifestyle Advanced Trio Powerhouse Charging Station with an alarm clock. So this deal includes 1 charging station that's got an alarm clock, and I mean, who doesn't love a product that can do multiple things? Now normally this is $100, but we've got it for just $29.99, which saves you guys 70%.
Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices, or you can even scan the QR code on your screen to take you directly to these products on Morning Save's website. Again, thank you so much, Steph. Steph, there was something about that deal blast. I was more into it, intrigued a little bit.
I think I actually didn't pay attention.
Were you more comfortable doing it?
Yeah, which host do you like?
Yeah, do you feel better?
Do not even. You're both.
Well, I'm just saying we sold out of product, so congratulations to you.
Always selling out, always.
Yeah.
I think that's me, not you.
Even with, well, I think it's you, but not her. More so me. We'll see you tomorrow.